ladies and gentlemen, how to achieve your dream. I want to talk to you about dreams, the kind that wake you up at 3 a.m., the kind that keep you up, the kind that make you believe anything is possible if you just push a little harder. We all have them. Some are big, some are small, some seem almost ridiculous, but they are yours, and that's what matters. Now, let me tell you right off the bat, dreams are not some fairy tale. They're not a destination. They're a journey. And on that journey, you are going to face obstacles. You're going to be told no. You're going to be told that your dream is impossible, that you're not qualified, that you're not the right person for the job. And here's the thing, the people who say that they're not wrong, not in the traditional sense anyway. But what they don't understand is that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't even need to know exactly what you're doing at the start. What you need is courage, the courage to start. The courage to fail. The courage to pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and keep going even when it feels like the world is trying to push you down. I'm not going to lie to you, there are going to be times when you feel like you've hit a wall. You might even feel like the dream is slipping through your fingers, like you're not good enough, or that you've messed up too many times. That's when you find out who you really are, when the cards are stacked against you, and there's no safety net beneath you. That's when you find out whether you're really in this for the long haul. But here's the thing, every setback is a lesson. Every loss, a strategy. The people who succeed don't win by never losing. They win by getting smarter with every loss. They learn to read the game, adapt, and pivot when things aren't going their way. And you can do that too. It's not about what's happened to you, it's about how you use it. So what's the secret? It's simple. You commit. You give everything to it, everything. That means your time, your energy, your focus. That means taking risks, making the tough calls, betting on yourself when everyone else has already cashed out. But it also means knowing when to walk away, knowing when to let go of something that's not working and shifting gears, even when you don't have a backup plan. And here's the most important thing, you need to own your story. No one else can do that for you. The failures, the mistakes, the moments of doubt, they all belong to you. Embrace them. Learn from them. Because if you keep going, if you refuse to quit, even when everyone else has, you'll get there. But don't think it's going to be easy. If it were easy, everyone would be living their dream. The truth is, very few people have the grit, the guts, and the determination to make it happen. But if you're one of the ones who do, if you're one of the ones who refuses to let go of that dream, no matter what, then nothing can stop you. So if you want to achieve your dream, here's what you do start, right now. Even if you're scared, even if you're not ready. Trust that if you keep going, and if you keep betting on yourself, you'll get exactly where you need to be. Maybe not in the way you imagined, but you'll get there. Achieving your dream is not about reaching a final destination. It's easy to think of success as a one-time moment, the moment when you finally make it, but the truth is, the dream is never just a finish line to cross, it's the entire journey. Along the way, you'll face obstacles, make mistakes, and experience growth. Each challenge you encounter, each step you take is part of the dream itself. In fact, the more you chase your dream, the more you'll realize that the pursuit is what shapes you. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to learn, refine your skills, and discover things about yourself that you never knew. The setbacks, the failures, the moments of doubt, they all add value to the process. These are the moments that push you to evolve and become a stronger, smarter, more capable person. It's easy to get fixated on the end goal, to imagine that the dream is something that will magically transform your life when you reach it. But often, when you finally arrive at that point you thought would be the culmination, you realize that the dream has already changed you in ways you couldn't have predicted. What you wanted at the beginning may no longer be the same as what you end up with, and that's not a failure, it's a testament to your growth. The real fulfillment comes not just from the achievement itself, but from everything you learn along the way. The dream will stretch you, challenge you, and at times break you. But it will also build you into someone who is capable of handling even bigger dreams in the future. In the end, the process, the journey is the dream. And that's something that no one can take away from you. On the road to achieving your dreams, setbacks are inevitable. No matter how carefully you plan or how determined you are, obstacles will appear. You will face moments where things don't go your way, times when you're told no. and situations that make you question whether the dream is even worth pursuing. But here's the most important thing to understand: those setbacks don't define you unless you let them. A no is not a permanent rejection, it's a redirection. Every obstacle you face is a chance to learn and adjust. It might not feel like it in the moment, especially when you're dealing with disappointment or failure, but each setback offers valuable insight. You might discover where you need to improve, or you may find a different path that leads to your goal. The key is not to get stuck in the moment of failure. If you let setbacks consume you, they will become the story you tell yourself, and that story will hold you back. But if you view each obstacle as a stepping stone, you can shift your perspective from defeat to growth. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often not talent or luck, but the ability to keep going when things get tough. You'll have days when you feel like giving up. It might seem easier to walk away, to take the easy route. But success isn't found in avoiding the hard moments, it's found in pushing through them. The people who make it are the ones who have faced rejection, dealt with loss, and experienced failure, yet refuse to let it define them. They keep going, learning, and evolving until they're better equipped to handle the next challenge. Setbacks are not a sign to quit. They're an invitation to grow. If you take them as opportunities to refine your strategy, sharpen your skills, and adjust your mindset, they can actually move you closer to your goal. And when you hit a wall, don't stop figuring out how to climb it, go around it, or break through it. It's not about avoiding the no or escaping the setbacks. It's about learning how to keep moving forward, no matter what stands in your way. Courage is the backbone of every success story. It's easy to assume that success is reserved for the most talented or the most fortunate, but the truth is, what really sets those who achieve their dreams apart is their courage. Courage to start, courage to fail, and most importantly, courage to keep going when the path is anything but clear. Starting something new is always intimidating. There's a fear of the unknown, a fear of failing before you've even begun. The moment you decide to chase a dream, there will be voices internal and external telling you that you're not ready, that it's too risky, that you should play it safe. But the most important thing you can do in that moment is simply to begin. The courage to take the first step, even when you don't have all the answers, is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's never the perfect moment, never the right time, and never the ideal conditions that push people to start. It's the decision to act, despite the fear, despite the uncertainty. Then comes the courage to fail. And make no mistake, failure is part of the process. It's inevitable. You will make mistakes, you will encounter setbacks, and things will not always go according to plan. But that's the beauty of failure. It's the best teacher you can have. It shows you where you need to grow, where your approach is flawed, and where your strength lies. But you'll never learn these lessons if you let fear of failure paralyze you. True courage isn't about avoiding mistakes, it's about taking them in stride, learning from them, and using them to fuel your progress. The most successful people are often the ones who have failed the most. They've fallen, gotten back up, and kept going because they understand that failure isn't the end. It's simply a part of the journey. And then when the path gets tough, when you've hit obstacle after obstacle, when you're exhausted, and when the dream feels like it's slipping further away, that's when the real test of courage begins. It's easy to give up when things aren't going your way, when the results aren't immediate, when everything feels like an uphill battle. But the courage to keep going, to push through even when the odds are stacked against you, is what truly defines perseverance. It's the grit to stay in the game when everything inside you is telling you to quit. It's the resolve to keep walking forward even when you can't see the finish line. Courage doesn't come from the absence of fear, it comes from acting in spite of it. It's about trusting in your own ability to figure things out even when the path isn't clear. Success isn't about being fearless, it's about finding the strength to keep going, even when fear is present, even when failure stings, and even when the road ahead looks uncertain. Failure is one of the most misunderstood elements of success. Too often we view failure as something to be avoided, something that signals the end of the road. Society teaches us to fear it, to see it as a mark of inadequacy, something that tarnishes our image and proves we're not cut out for the dream we're chasing. But in reality, failure is not the enemy, it's the teacher. It's one of the most valuable tools we have in the pursuit of our dreams. Every time we fail, we're given a gift and opportunity to learn. It's through our losses, our mistakes, and the moments when things don't go as planned that we gain the most insight. Failure reveals what isn't working. It highlights our blind spots, our weaknesses, the places where we need to grow. Rather than seeing failure as a mark of defeat, think of it as a crucial step in the process. It's the universe telling you you're not there yet, but you're getting closer. The key is not to let failure define you. It's not a reflection of your worth or your potential. What matters is what you do after you fail. Do you give up, or do you take the lesson, adjust your approach, and try again? The most successful people in the world have failed countless times, but what separates them from the rest is that they never let those failures keep them down. Instead, they get curious. They ask themselves, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? What did this failure teach me? Failure also has the power to sharpen your skills in ways that success cannot. Success, while rewarding, can sometimes reinforce what you already know. It feels good, but it doesn't push you to change or grow as much as failure does. Failure is uncomfortable, but it's in that discomfort that you find your edge. It forces you to adapt, to reevaluate your strategy, and to innovate. Every time you get knocked down, you become a little bit smarter, a little bit more equipped for the next challenge. What's important is that you don't take failure personally. It's a process. It doesn't mean you're incapable or not deserving of your dream. It just means that you need to refine your approach, that you need to tweak something, or that you need to learn something new. The people who truly fail are the ones who stop trying. Failure is only a defeat if you allow it to stop you. Instead of dreading failure, embrace it, accept that it will happen, and when it does, welcome it as part of your growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Failure is the best feedback you can get. It's the reality check that keeps you on track. Every failure is another chance to refine your approach, build resilience, and improve the strategy that will eventually bring you success. When you start seeing failure as an essential part of the journey, you stop fearing it. You begin to see it for what it really is, a necessary tool in your evolution. It's not a sign that you're incapable. It's proof that you're moving forward, adjusting, and growing stronger with each step. When you decide to chase your dream, you're not just signing up for a casual hobby or a side project. You're committing to something that will require all of your time, your focus, and your energy. There's no room for half-hearted effort if you truly want to achieve something remarkable. You can't just dip your toes in and expect to see results. You have to dive in, fully immersed without hesitation or reservation. Commitment means making your dream the priority in your life, even when it gets tough, even when the road ahead is unclear. The first step in committing to your dream is giving it your full attention. That doesn't mean you abandon everything else, but it does mean you consciously choose to make your dream a central part of your life. It requires a shift in mindset. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or hoping for some kind of sign, you have to take responsibility for your path. Every day, you make a choice to work towards that goal. It's about setting aside distractions, saying no to things that don't align with your purpose, and putting in the effort even when you're tired or unsure. But commitment is more than just showing up. It's about focus. Focus on the goal, yes, but also focus on the process. It's easy to get distracted by the end result, to fixate on how far away the dream seems, or to compare your progress to others. But true commitment comes when you center your attention on what you need to do right now, in this moment. Success doesn't come from obsessing over the future. It comes from pouring your energy into the next step. Focus is what enables you to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow or invisible. It's what helps you stay disciplined when others around you might be losing their drive. Commitment also means being willing to take risks. No dream worth achieving comes without risk. There will be moments when you have to step outside your comfort zone, make difficult decisions, or put yourself in situations where success is far from guaranteed. Risk is part of the equation. It's how you push past your limits, how you learn, and how you grow. And yes, taking risks means there will be moments when things don't work out as planned. But those risks are investments in your future because they force you to grow, to innovate, and to problem solve in ways you might not have otherwise. Without risk, there is no reward. The hardest part of committing to your dream, however, is making those tough decisions when you reach a crossroads. Achieving your dream often requires sacrificing comfort, certainty, and sometimes even people or situations that are no longer serving your growth. There will be times when you'll have to say goodbye to old habits, let go of relationships that don't align with your vision, or make financial and personal sacrifices. But these decisions are necessary. When you fully commit, You give yourself permission to make the hard choices that move you closer to where you want to be. And here's the thing, there are no guarantees. No one can promise you that the dream will come true, or that your efforts will be rewarded immediately, or even that things will work out the way you expect. But that's where the true power of commitment lies. It's not in knowing that success is guaranteed, it's in the willingness to keep going, to keep putting in the work, despite the uncertainty. It's in trusting that your commitment, your energy, and your focus will eventually pay off, even if you don't see the results right away. The most successful people aren't the ones who find the easiest path, they're the ones who commit fully, no matter the obstacles or uncertainty. They know that nothing worth having comes without hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. They understand that achieving a dream requires total immersion, giving your all to something you believe in, even when there's no roadmap, no clear timeline, and no promises of success. If you want your dream to become a reality, you can't just wish for it or wait for the right moment. You have to make it happen, day by day, step by step. It's the willingness to show up when it's hard, the ability to stay focused when the journey gets long, and the courage to risk everything for what you believe in. True commitment is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who are ready to give everything they've got. Knowing when to let go is one of the hardest yet most important decisions you'll make on the path to success. It's natural to think that persistence is the key to success, that if you just keep pushing, keep trying harder, eventually you'll break through. But sometimes holding on too tightly to something that isn't working can prevent you from seeing new opportunities, or worse, keep you stuck in a cycle of frustration and failure. True success isn't just about sticking with something no matter what, it's about knowing when to walk away from what's not serving you and having the courage to pivot toward what will. First, letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing that sometimes, despite your best efforts, a particular approach, project, or even relationship is not bringing you closer to your dream. It's not a reflection of your worth or capability, it's just a signal that you need to change direction. When you can accept that, you free yourself from the burden of trying to make something work that's simply not aligned with your goals. This requires a level of self-awareness that many people struggle with, the ability to see the bigger picture, to realize when something isn't contributing to your growth, and to make the tough call to move on. One of the most challenging aspects of letting go is the emotional investment. You've poured time, energy, and possibly even money into something, and it feels like you're walking away from all of that effort. But here's the truth: continuing down a path that isn't working isn't honoring the time or energy you've invested, it's wasting it. By holding on to something that isn't bringing you closer to your goal, you're preventing yourself from making room for new opportunities, better ideas, or even the right people who can help you reach your destination. The longer you hold on to what isn't working, the harder it becomes to move forward. In business, in life, and in the pursuit of any big goal, you will face moments where you need to pivot. A pivot doesn't mean abandoning your dream, it means adjusting your approach, reassessing your strategy, and finding a new path that's more in alignment with your evolving vision. It's about being flexible and open to change. Sometimes you will find that a small adjustment can make all the difference. Other times, a complete overhaul might be necessary. Whatever the case, the ability to recognize that it's time to shift gears is crucial. It's the difference between being stuck in an unproductive loop and moving towards something that better serves your goals. Letting go also means knowing when to release people or environments that are holding you back. Sometimes success involves outgrowing relationships or situations that once were beneficial, but no longer align with where you're headed. This could mean stepping away from toxic friendships, leaving a job that's no longer fulfilling, or distancing yourself from people who drain your energy. Letting go of these things might feel difficult, especially if there's a sense of loyalty or comfort involved, but it's essential for your growth. You can't move forward if you're carrying too much baggage, whether that's a bad relationship, a dead-end job, or an outdated mindset. Growth requires space to evolve, and sometimes letting go is the only way to create that space. One of the most powerful aspects of letting go is that it allows you to be more present to the things that truly matter. It enables you to redirect your energy and resources towards something that's more aligned with your values, your purpose, and your dream. When you let go of what isn't working, you make room for something better, something that has the potential to propel you forward. Holding on too tightly to the wrong thing can limit your ability to recognize and seize new opportunities that could be exactly what you need. The process of knowing when to let go isn't easy. It requires honesty, self-reflection, and a willingness to make hard decisions, but it's also one of the most powerful steps you can take on the path to success. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to step back, reassess, and make the conscious decision to let go of what's not working in order to make room for what will. It's not about quitting, it's about making room for growth, for change, and for the new possibilities that await you. Owning your story means taking full responsibility for every part of it, both the highs and the lows. It's about embracing the entire journey, the failures, the setbacks, the mistakes, as much as the wins and achievements. Every step you've taken, every wrong turn, every disappointment has contributed to making you who you are today. Instead of trying to erase or hide the parts of your story that didn't go as planned, owning your story means accepting them as essential chapters in the narrative of your success. The truth is, no one's journey is without its struggles. We all face challenges. There are always moments when things don't go as expected, when we doubt ourselves, or when the obstacles seem insurmountable. But the difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't isn't about avoiding these moments, it's about how they handle them. Those who succeed are the ones who refuse to give up, no matter how many times they fall or how difficult the road becomes. They keep going because they understand that failure isn't the end, it's part of the process. It's a lesson that moves you forward, not a judgment that holds you back. When you own your story, you stop apologizing for your mistakes and start using them as fuel. Instead of looking at your past and feeling shame or regret, you look at it as a series of stepping stones that have led you to this moment. Every misstep, every failed attempt has taught you something invaluable. You didn't get to where you are by being perfect. You got here because you were willing to keep going. Despite the setbacks, despite the moments when quitting seemed like the easier choice. Embracing your failures also means accepting that there's no straight line to success. The journey is rarely linear, it's messy, unpredictable, and filled with detours. There are times when you'll feel like you're not making any progress at all, and other times when you'll feel like the dream is slipping away. But these moments are just as important as the moments of progress. They teach you resilience, they teach you how to get back up after being knocked down, they show you how to keep moving even when everything inside you says to stop. And in doing so, they make you stronger, more capable, and more equipped to handle whatever challenges lie ahead. The key is not to let those tough moments define you. Don't let them convince you that you're not good enough or that your dream isn't worth pursuing. Own those moments. Recognize that every struggle you face is part of the bigger picture. The people who succeed are the ones who continue, who refuse to quit when the going gets tough, who find a way through even when the road feels impossible. Success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about showing up day after day, ready to face whatever comes your way. When you refuse to quit, you not only grow as a person, but you also make the dream real. Each time you pick yourself up after a fall, each time you try again despite the odds, you're moving closer to the life you want to create. The key isn't in waiting for things to be perfect or for the conditions to be just right. It's in showing up with everything you've got. Despite the messiness, despite the imperfections, it's in refusing to give up when everything feels uncertain. To own your story means to claim every part of it, even the parts that were hard, the parts that hurt. Because that's where the growth happens. That's where the strength is built. And that's what ultimately leads you to success, not just the achievement of your dream, but the person you become in the process. So keep going, keep pushing through, even when it seems impossible. Own your story. And know that with every step forward, you are writing the next chapter of your success.